Hello everyone. So I just thought I'd do a wee intro before we begin this episode. So first things first, we know that we're not professionals at this, so if it's a little bit stop-start and a little bit all over the place, then please just bear with us. Obviously, we've just started it and we know it won't be perfect straight away, but I'm hoping you guys still enjoy watching it anyway. And we know there's still a long way to go before we have it up to the standard that we'd like. So hopefully in a couple of episodes' time we can have it up to that standard. Given the current restrictions as well, it's obviously not possible to be filming it in the same room. So again, hopefully within reason, the restrictions are eased so that we're allowed in different households and we can get it filmed in the same room, just so it's a little bit different for you guys to watch. Obviously, all our thanks are in the video as well, but I just thought I'd like to say another massive thank you for all the support on the first episode. Like, it went so far beyond mine and Paul's expectations that I'm actually shocked. So thanks again. It's like honestly incredible, and we appreciate it so much. Last thing is, please follow the Twitter and the Instagram, as Paul said in the podcast at the end. The handles are on the screen now if you'd like regular updates on uploads and things like that. There's also a link in the description below that will take you directly to the page. That's all for me just now. I hope you enjoy this episode. Thanks for now. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Top Shelf podcast. We hope you're all well. Before we obviously get into this one, I'm sure I speak for myself and Paul when I say thank you for all the support on the last one, everyone that shared it around, everyone that liked it, everyone that watched it. If you had said to me before we filmed the last one that we'd get over 650 views within a week and gain about 16 subscribers, then I would have bitten your hand off. So I said from both myself and Paul, it is appreciated. Paul is of course here. How are you, Paul?
Hello, I'm okay, thank you for asking.
It's good. So obviously I said at the end of last episode that we're going to be talking about some Scottish Premiership football today. So we're going to be doing our Scottish League predictions. So who's going to win the league, who's going to go down, who's going to come up, and also our predictions for the Cup. We're going to do the exact same for the English Premier League. Who's going to go up, who's going to win the league, who's going to get Champions League, etc. And finally, we're going to talk about a quote by Jamie O'Hara. Now, because it's from Jamie O'Hara, you can tell straight away that it's dodgy. That he says that currently Rangers and Celtic could not compete in the Premier League. So we're going to be talking about that. So we'll not go waffling on like we did at the beginning of last one. We're going to just get right into this one, and we're going to start off with our English Premier League predictions. So firstly, we're going to start with who we think is going to finish in the bottom 3. Now, just like at the top of this season, I think it's pretty close. But there is a couple of teams, obviously, that I don't think are strong enough to stay in the league. Paul, we'll start with you for this one. Who is your bottom 3 that's going to get relegated this season?
Right, my bottom 3, so starting at position 20, it's obviously going to be Sheffield United. They've had a shocker of a season, sitting at 5 points after 18 games. That is just dreadful. So they're just no doubt they're going down. I'm going to guess it's the same for you.
Oh, totally. I mean, like we said at the end of the last one, or near the end of the last one, you've got to look at Sheffield United's team, and it's not much different from last season, apart from one position, which is obviously in goals. They've signed Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth, but Dean Henderson was just phenomenal for them last season. And is his departure the reason Sheffield United are doing so bad? Because they've not brought in any bad players, they've not lost any bad players. It's a similar team, so that's
Well,
also
they have like signed like a few players. Like they've signed Ethan Padu
yeah, that's
and
true.
Ryan Brewster.
Brewster,
Like
yeah.
I thought Brewster was going to be the next. Like he was going to do great things at Sheffield, but not really shown anything. Same with Mpadu. Ramsdale, I thought was a good signing, but I think the team as a whole is just not that good. I think they're kind of a championship team right now.
Yeah, not 100%. I think they've been unlucky though. Like, there's no denying that with some decisions that they've had against them this season, you could say have cost them a couple of points. But yeah, I mean, everyone did doubt whether they'd do as well as what they did last season, this season. And looking at the table and looking at their stats and stuff, you can see that they most certainly are not. So I think them finishing 20th is inevitable, and that is probably our first choice for relegation. 19th spot, Paul. Who are you going with?
I'm just going with whoever's 19th now, so that's West Brom. I think
It's predictions, not just read the Premier League table out.
No, I know, but I do think that the West Brom and Sheffield are just going to stay 19th and 20th. I think it's just going to be a battle between who's 18th in the table. So
Yeah,
I think West
definitely.
Brom will stay down there.
I mean, again, you've got to look at obviously weirdly they let go of Slaven Bilic after the Man City draw, which I thought was a bit of a dodgy decision. But the chairman made it and brought in the man for all relegations, Big Sam.
Sam the man.
Obviously, you look at his previous teams like West Ham, Blackburn, Sunderland. There's another one I can't remember who it is, but he got them all out of the shit when they're in the relegation zone. He's kept them all up. Unfortunately, though, as much as I like the guy, I don't think he's going to get West Brom out of this crisis. One win in 17 games, 39 goals conceded, which is the joint most. In fact, no, it's the most in the league. So you've got to look at that and say if they're not scoring many goals, but then they're conceding too many. So yeah, West Brom to finish 19th again, I think is inevitable, and it's like you said, it's a battle for who's going to finish 18th. So who have you gone for finishing 18th, Paul?
I think it'll be Brighton.
Oh, so all right, interesting. Why?
Well, at the minute, I don't think they're like doing too well, in my opinion. Like they've not won in the last 5 games, as I can see. They've lost twice. But like compared to Fulham, I think Fulham is like
They've
doing a
drawn
bit
their
better
last
now.
5.
They drew the last 5, and the last game was against Spurs, wasn't it?
Last
No.
night, yeah.
Yeah, and they drew there. So if they could do that against Spurs, who are where are they? They're 6th at the minute. And Spurs have had a decent season this season. So I think Fulham will climb the table just that little bit, and I think Brighton will just drop that ever so slightly into the relegation zone.
Fair enough.
Who do you think's going to go
To
down?
be fair, I say really as if I'm shocked because I'm going to say Brighton as well, to be honest. I was torn between Fulham and obviously Brighton, the two teams that are like 17th and 18th now, but I think with Fulham having like now a full season under Scott Parker last year, I still don't think he's a great manager, but they don't have Fulham. To be fair, Fulham don't have a bad team. Like we were saying earlier, they've got Mitrovic, they've got Lookman, Kearney, Loftus Cheek, they've got Areola on goals. God knows how they got him, but
Mm.
I think Areola is a top class keeper. He's going to keep Fulham from conceding too many goals anyway. That is so. Like you said, I think Fulham are going to edge it. I think they've got more of a goal threat than Brighton. I think Brighton have been unlucky this season as well. Like obviously that Man United game, or was that last season actually? No, that was last season. Ignore me. But Brighton, they still have been unlucky this season. Like, I think they've got the most amount of woodwork hits this season. So you've got to look at that and think that is just unlucky. But I don't think, as I say, they've not got as much of a goal threat as what Fulham do to stay up. So I think Brighton, they'll maybe tick along the season just now, but I think it'll get to a point where they're just not scoring enough, not winning enough, not kind of being as deadly as in the final third as what they want, and they'll drop into the relegation zone and they'll go down as well. But it's about time. They've kind of been there and thereabouts every season. So if this isn't their season, then I will be surprised.
I have just seen that they've played 18 games so far, and Fulham have only played 16.
That's true.
And
That's true.
There's only 2 points between them, so I think Fulham will easily pass them.
Then again, you've got to consider obviously who Fulham's games in hand are against. It could be teams near the top, it could be teams near the bottom. Obviously, I don't know, I've not got it in front of me, but
Fulham's next game is Chelsea, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Brighton's next game is Leeds. So
fair, but yeah, I think we both agree on the bottom 3. I don't think, as I say, Brighton have as much of a goal threat as Fulham. I think Fulham, as I say, like their back line is stronger than Brighton's as well. So I think Fulham will ship less goals, and obviously shipping less goals might most likely result in more points. So Fulham will stay up, and I think it'll be Brighton, West Brom, and Sheffield United that go down. So that's our bottom 3. Now. So sorry if you heard a weird cut there. The audio decided to stop halfway through when we were talking about the Europa League positions. So I've now obviously started that back up. So we're going to start that whole bit again. So we're now going to move on to our Europa League predictions. Now, just so people are aware, the teams who finish 5th and 6th will qualify for next season's Europa League unless they win one of the next month's European tournaments. But if the FA Cup winners finish in the top 6th, then 7th place will get the Europa League. So we'll just talk 5th and 6th, and then if needed, we can say a 7th place if that does happen. So we'll go 5th place, obviously currently occupied by Everton, having a very good season, it has to be said. New manager and stuff, a couple of great signings, I have to say. And then you've got Tottenham in 6th. So they're the current 2 Europa League spot holders, sorry. Do you think it's going to stay that way, Paul, or do you think it's going to change over the course of the rest of the season? Let me know. What do you think? What are you thinking, son?
I think Everton will stay fifth, to be honest. For Tottenham, I think Tottenham will drop in the table a bit, and I think Villa will jump up to six
All right. Okay.
because Villa have got 15 games played so far, and everyone else, near enough everyone else, is at 17. So I think Villa will jump up once they play all their games, and I think they will be contenders for Europa League or like in the Europa League spot. So I think it'll be Everton and then Villa
For
for
fifth and
me anyway.
sixth.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. Fifth spot. See, I think fifth spot is. I think Spurs are going to get fifth. I think for the next couple of months anyway, Spurs and Everton are going to kind of like be like constantly changing between fifth and sixth. I do think they're pretty similar teams, obviously like quality wise. I don't know if they've played each other this season. I can't actually remember. They have, and Everton won actually. So you've got to look at the head to head as well and think Everton, in my opinion, are a stronger team on paper than Spurs, but Spurs just have this way of winning, especially under Mourinho. I mean, he's got his own tactics that he plays and stuff. But I do think that Tottenham are going to see it through till the end of the season. I think they will finish fifth. Um, Everton, I can see taking their foot off the gas, and as you said earlier, kind of well, you didn't say it, but Everton are going to kind of plummet down the table a bit. And I do agree. I think Aston Villa will get sixth, as you said earlier. Obviously, 2 games less than everyone else. And you've got to look at it. If they do win those 2 games, then they're up there even for the Champions League. So I don't think they'll get that high. I think sixth place will be their limit. I think Everton will get the seventh spot, and weirdly and pretty controversially, I think Chelsea are going to miss out. I don't think Chelsea right now. I'd like Lampard. I think what he did at Derby and stuff in his first season of management was class. Obviously, had a good first season with Chelsea, but I think this season started off well, but now kind of being a bit kind of he's getting exposed with his play style and stuff. I think they're going to get eighth. I don't think Chelsea are going to get anywhere near the Europa League spots. Maybe a debatable point, but yeah, can't see them getting anywhere near it. I don't know if you agree with that, Paul.
No, I think Chelsea will get seventh. I think Spurs will go eighth. So I think they'll kind of swap, So, aye, and then Southampton will drop down.
Oh,
I can't see Southampton keeping up this good form.
nah, neither.
Is
I
that
agree.
even at the minute they're kind of dropping. But I do think Chelsea will come up and even have a fight for Europa or just miss out.
But then, obviously, for people watching, if they don't currently know what the positions are, you've got West Ham, Chelsea, Villa, 10th, ninth, and 8th, all on 26 points. Then you've got Southampton 7th on 29. Then you've got Tottenham 6th on 30. So between 6th and 10th, there's 4 points. So you can say it's going to be a very close race for it this year. But I mean, obviously, we don't know what transfers teams are going to bring in, so that can play a big part as well. But based on current form, obviously, and current like squads, I don't think. I said Chelsea. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near it. I think Villa will qualify for it, which is amazing. I do like Villa. I have a soft spot for them. So especially where they were last season and where they are now, it's class. So I mean, I think they should get Europa League, especially given they've played 2 games less. So fifth and sixth for me is Spurs and Aston Villa, and fifth and sixth for you, Paul, is who again? Sorry.
Everton and Villa.
Everton and Villa. Okay, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
we've disagreed for the first time on this. So now on to, you would say, the most obvious part. I mean, the top four, I don't think is going to change between now and the end of the season. I can't see it changing personally. I think it's going to be like a four-way race between the four of them. I think it's going to be close. So we'll start off with your third and fourth, Paul. Who do you think is going to finish third and fourth in the league?
Uh, I think Leicester are going to finish fourth, which I don't like. I want Leicester to win because I think they've just got an amazing play style, and I've got a soft spot for Leicester, like what you have for Villa. I just really like Leicester, and I've also got a bet on them winning the league. So I do kind of want them to win.
Forgot about that. Forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to say Leicester are fourth. And for third, I think think United will drop a bit, and I think they'll go third.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think they'll go third.
All right. Okay. Interesting. I disagree on one. I think
Oh,
Leicester will stay fourth. Obviously, they didn't get the Champions League last year. Um, Last year, I think they kind of bottled it a bit. They were in a class position to get second, even third maybe. But after the restart, they kind of faded away a bit and finished fifth, I think it was. So I think this season they deserve Champions League. They've been class. They've done well in the Europa League as well. So like they've been doing it in all competitions. Again, like Leicester are a class team. Unreal players as well. Vardy, what is he, 34 or something, and he's still banging in goals, and he's like one of the fittest players in the team. So I seen a thing earlier actually. It's like he smokes one fag and drinks 2 cans of Red Bull a day, and like the fitness department just let him. Like they know that he's not going to change, he's not going to stop, so they just kind of let him do it. But I mean, with the goals he's scored and the amount of goals that he's scored in his career, I mean, you can't really change it. I mean, if it's working for him, then why not? Um, so Leicester to
but
finish.
like that's you kind of get away with some of the superstition, like
I
shite.
know exactly,
Like the
exactly.
whole smoking into the Red Bull thing, that can't be good. Like I don't get the whole superstitious thing. It's like Jack Grealish with his fucking stupid low socks and kid shin pads. Like it's no right. Like
Yeah,
it
no,
looks
yeah.
stupid.
Like you look at superstition and you
Anyway,
think like you put your left leg on, like your left sock, your left gym pad, your left boot on
you put
first,
your
or
left leg on, huh?
or like you wear a certain like I don't know, you wear a certain like top under your like shirt or something before the game and stuff. There's certain superstitions like that, but like drinking 2 cans of Red Bull and smoking a fag a day. I mean, if as I say, if it's working for him, then fair play. But I mean, as you said, I don't think it's very good. But I mean, I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Jamie Vardy. So as far as I'm concerned, he can do away. Third,
I know, but
third, I think, and again, I think this could be a controversial one. I think third is going to be Liverpool.
what?
No, I think third will be
Yeah,
Liverpool. You look at it now and you see City with a game in hand, only a point behind them, but obviously I think City, like obviously they've been up there every year since Pep took over. They've been an unbelievable team, one of the best in the world since Pep took over. Maybe started off a bit slow this season, but they've kind of come into a game a bit in the last like month or so. So um, yeah, I can see Liverpool dropping to third. I don't think they've got the hunger as what they did last year. Obviously with Van Dijk being injured as well, that's not a great thing. They're pumped to play like academy people at centre back and stuff. But the sooner Van Dijk comes back, I think the better for Liverpool. But even when Van Dijk comes back, I can't see them. I can't see them winning the league. I can't see them getting second. I can see them finishing third. So Leicester and Liverpool are my third and fourth placed teams. Let me know what you think of that. If you think Liverpool's dodgy, then let me know. And Paul, yours is again, and my memory's bad. Leicester and Man United.
yeah,
Leicester and Man United. Right. So um, that obviously leaves us with the top two spots. So I am torn between Man United and Man City, and you're torn between Liverpool and Man City. So on you go.
yeah.
Who's winning the league and who's missing out by one this season?
I honestly, I don't know because
Well, that's
I.
helpful.
But that's the thing. I think at the end of the season they're going to be out by like either like 1 point or like 3 points. It's going to be incredibly close. But if I had to choose, I think. When does Van Dijk come back? Do you know?
I don't know. I think he was in. I'm sure I heard something that he could be out for the rest of the season, but apparently he's making good progress in his recovery, so it could be before that, but I don't actually know, to be honest.
Because if he's out for the rest of the season, then I think City might edge it. But hold on, he might be returned February or March.
Fair.
So
That's still 2 months away, though. Can Liverpool afford to miss him
yeah,
for
and
another 2 months?
I think even if he does come back, like say he comes back in March, right? I don't think he'll be 100% in March.
No
So I think
chance.
it'll still take him until April, maybe. So I actually think City might take it, to be honest.
So you think City for the league and Liverpool for runners-up?
Yeah, yeah, I think City might take it this
I mean,
year.
obviously, nothing's going to beat the title race of 2 years ago, where Liverpool lost the league with 97 points. Nothing is going to beat that title race. But I do think it's going to be a repeat of that season, but just as I say, not as drastic as 98 points to 97, because we'll never see anything like that again. I don't think so. Yeah, yours is City for the league and Liverpool for second.
This table, like, I think at the end of the season, it's going to look very similar. So I think it's just going to be very close between everyone. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think there's
yeah,
going to be a clear winner like Liverpool last season
no, nah,
or
definitely
like
not, no
City.
chance.
I think it's just all going to be very close. So like even United, if they won like 2 more games and someone, they could win it. Or if Leicester went on a very good run, they could even win it. It's just all very close because Leicester and Everton are at the same points just now.
Yeah,
Then the Villa, like because they're 15, only played 15 games. If they won those 2 games, they were what, down with Everton,
yeah, they'd be
and
on 32
then
as well, so it'd be 4 teams on
they would
32
have more
points.
goals, no doubt. So they would be fifth. So they would be contending for the title. I'm not going to say Villa are going to be contending, but I do think it'll be very close.
Oh no,
But anyway,
100%. I mean, I agree. Like you
who's
look at the table now, and you see Wolves away down in 14th when the past couple of seasons they've been up there like 7, 6 sometimes, even the top four sometimes, like very briefly at times.
even Arsenal?
Arsenal as well, like they had a rotten run of
Arsenal
form. Like what
leagues.
last month they lost just game upon game. Like they lost to Burnley, um, obviously Aston Villa as well. Like there was other like quite low down teams as well they lost to. So you look at them and think if they didn't have such a poor run, they could be up there. But they're not. They're 11th. So I mean, where they finish is
That's what
unknown
we
to
thought
us.
about Leeds. Leeds at the start of the season were doing amazing.
Yeah. Oh
Like I
no.
still think they're doing all right just now, but not as good as they were at the start. I think everyone thought, oh, they're going to be up there in like sixth or fifth or something, but they've just dropped off. So I think that could happen to anyone, or it could be the other way about. Like someone can have really good form and they can just jump up.
Bielsa
So
ball.
it's just sorry.
Bielsa ball.
All right. I
Anyway,
thought
so
you were just talking in
you're
a foreign language.
right. Everyone is going to hate me for this, but Man United are going to win the league.
Of course,
Like I'm not
I
just
knew
saying
you'd
that
say that.
because like I've been a Man United supporter my whole life and I've been waiting for them since Sir Alex left to win a league. I think now is obviously you can't deny that now is our best chance. 3 points clear. We're playing Liverpool on Sunday at Anfield, which is a bit of a red herring. But I mean, against Burnley the other night, we did struggle, but obviously we got the win. I think Ole's right now has been similar to Mourinho, where he's not scoring many, but he's still winning games because of the defence. Harry Maguire obviously got his stick at the beginning of the season. I think has played well the past couple of months. Lindelof obviously as an option for a centre back as well as Bailly, Twanzebe as well. He's a good wee young player. Um, Obviously we've drew with Man City this season already, so you've got to look at that and think last season we beat them twice, but we still didn't, finish above them. So yeah, Man United for the league just based on like their front four is frightening. Like obviously City have De Bruyne, Foden, Bernardo, Mahrez, Aguero, Jesus. Like they've got all that. Man United, Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Martial, Cavani, even Juan Mata. Like when he plays, Daniel James is rapid. Like they've got so much threat going forward. Probably not scored as many goals as what they should have, but to see them top of the league for the first time after New Year since Ferguson left is class. And personally, I think they'll stay there. I think they'll fall down for a couple of weeks, maybe like to second or third, but um, I do think they'll see it through and they'll win the league, which obviously means City are finishing second. Again, probably debatable. Folk are going to hate me enough for not including Chelsea in the top seven, but I think people are going to hate me even more that I've included Man United in the top spot. So that is our Premier League predictions for the league. If you let us know what you think of them down below, obviously let us know who you think is going to finish in each spot as well. Moving on to the Scottish Premiership now. Now this is something that is a bit obviously less kind of spoken about because there's only like one person that goes down rather than three, and there's obviously one league winner, but there's obviously a playoff as well in the SPL. So, also I know you don't pay as much attention to Scottish football as what you should, Paul. But who's going down and
Fair
who's
enough.
getting relegated?
Uh, I can see Hamilton going down. To be honest,
Same. I have
uh,
to agree. Yeah, not really a debate
yeah,
there.
No, I think Ross County will stay up. I think they're going to pull it out of the bag with a few games soon.
Obviously, a recent new manager as well, Yogi John Hughes, new manager of Ross County.
And they've got the top striker, Oliver Shaw, at this point. So
I think Hamilton have kind of been lucky not to be relegated in past seasons. To be honest, they've always been like the bottom three spots at least. Obviously, last season ended how it did. Obviously, Hearts going down with 8 games to go. And I think we still had a couple of the bottom teams to play. So Hearts going down was obviously a kick in the teeth, but also I think they'll just come straight back up. There's no denying that they'll walk the championship. So yeah, I agree. Hamilton to go down. Do you think there's going to be a playoff, or do you think? Well, no, sorry. Obviously, there's going to be a playoff, but do you think the championship team will win the playoff and come up, or do you think the Premiership team will win the playoff and stay up? What do you think?
yeah, I don't know. Because of the playoffs, it would be Ross County, wouldn't it? And then
Well, yeah, probably. So
Dunfermline or
whoever finishes second bottom plays. So there's second, third, fourth, and fifth, I think, that play in a playoff in the championship. So they play each other twice. The winner, I think, goes to a playoff final, and then the winner of that plays the Premiership team. So there's quite a lot of games
right.
before it's actually decided. So obviously you've got to look at Motherwell, who somehow are down there. The form they've been on in recent
They
seasons.
won't. They will not. They'll come up, I think. So I think it's a battle between. I think St Johnstone might come down a bit. So it'll be between Ross County and St Johnstone. But to be honest, I think it will be Ross County
Yeah,
in
I think so.
playoffs. And then
Yeah.
the championship, I think Dunfermline will win those games. So it'll be Dunfermline, St Johnstone, or Ross County, sorry. And I could honestly see Dunfermline winning that.
Yeah,
Even though I've
yeah.
just said Ross County will do well, like they'll come up a bit, but I don't think they'll do that well. I
Yeah,
think
no,
they'll get away from straight relegation.
I honestly, I couldn't agree more. So I think Hamilton will go straight down. I think Ross County will turn it round, but not enough to jump up higher than 11th. I think they'll avoid relegation straight away. And obviously look at Dunfermline, Wraith. Obviously the form teams in the championship right now kind of up there. But I do agree. I think Dunfermline will make it through the playoffs in the championship, and then to be fair, I can see Ross County staying up. I can't see Dunfermline beating them. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dunfermline have had an unreal season in the championship, but yeah, I can't see them being strong enough to beat Ross County. So yeah, I think Hamilton will go straight down. Hearts will come straight back up. If they don't, I'll be worried. But I can see Hearts coming straight back up, and I can just see it being a one team down, one team up scenario. Um, yeah,
Right.
on to the Scottish actually. The Scottish League Cup. Now, obviously, we didn't do any of the English cups because there's just, quite frankly, too many. Um, so the Scottish League Cup, obviously, 4 teams left: Hibs, Livingston, St Johnstone, and St Mirren. So it's Hibs, St Johnstone, Livingston, St Mirren. Who's winning that? Do you think?
But, overall,
Yeah, who's winning the League Cup overall?
I hate to say it, but I think Hibs will win.
Seriously?
Yeah, because I think it'll be a Hibs Livingston final, and
But then you
I
look at
think
the
Hibs will
Livingston Hibs
just
game a
edge it.
couple of weeks ago, and Livingston were like 3-0.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if Hibs don't do well, like against St Mirren or Livingston, but because it's a final, I think Hibs will go in with the mentality of right, we need to win this. Like, there is no denying that we have to win this. So I think they will just edge it rather than Livingston or St Mirren winning.
Fair,
But
fair.
yeah, I, yeah, I think
I
it'll be Hibs Livingston.
I think personally Livingston will win it. I think their form in recent weeks has been just unreal. Also, a new manager, he's turned them around completely. And I'm pretty sure it was either last week or the week before. Hibs Livingston at Easter Road. I had Hibs on my coupon, and I could see 28 minutes in that wasn't going to happen when Livingston went 2-0 up, and it finished 3-0. So I think based on that, based on recent form as well, and obviously current form, Livingston are on the better form, and they're only, I say only, 7 points behind Hibs, but with 2 games in hand. So I think Livingston will win the League Cup personally. Um, yeah,
Okay.
so Scottish Cup, I don't think we're going to bother doing just because the whole the stop start thing with the Lowland League. So we're going to leave that to a later date once it actually kicks off again. We're going to move on to a quote from Jamie O'Hara. Now, anything that comes out of Jamie O'Hara's mouth is just a talking point straight away. The quote that we're going to be discussing is Rangers and Celtic wouldn't compete. We'll just say in the current Premier League. So the current teams, if you take, say, West Brom and Sheffield United out instead of the two and put in Rangers and Celtic, how would Rangers and Celtic fare in a league right now, the Premier League right now, Paul? How do you think they'd do? Truthfully, like, don't be, you know, but like biased because they're Scottish. Truthfully, how do you think they'd do?
Um, think they. I don't think they would be do too well. To be honest, I think they would stay near the bottom. Like they wouldn't go past. I don't think 15th or 14th.
Is this
I
Celtic
think.
or both of them?
I think Celtic. I would say would probably finish like 16th or 15th, maybe. Rangers. I think would be fighting for relegation. So I think they would probably beat Brighton. Like Celtic and Rangers would probably beat Brighton. They would beat Fulham, I think. But like everyone else, it's a bit tough to call. Newcastle would probably be. I think Newcastle would probably edge that, but it would be a tough one. So I do think they would be very low in the table, but I think they would maybe stay in the Premier League, or at least one of them would stay in the Premier League.
I am quite frankly shocked at that, to be honest.
How?
You look at this. You look at the obviously look at the Premiership table right now. We forgot to say and forgot to talk about it, but I mean, Rangers are going to win the league. Rangers are going to win the Scottish League. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
59 goals scored in 23 games, 6 goals conceded, 65 points from a possible. Let me do my maths. 23 times 3 from a possible 69. So they've dropped 4 points in 23 games. Unbelievable. We're unbeaten until obviously they lost against St Mirren in the League Cup, but no denying they were going to win the league. I think Rangers would be mid-table.
What?
No, giant.
Mid-table?
But you've got to look at it like obviously you don't compare it to like how they do in the Scottish League because they're playing like quite weak teams. You look at Rangers' form in the Europa League and they're beating like teams that are probably better than some of the mid-table teams in the Premier League, like Braga. Like obviously Braga hammered Arsenal, and Braga are obviously one of the best teams in Portugal. Rangers hammered them. Standard Liège again hammered Arsenal. Rangers hammered them. I think Rangers would be mid-table. Celtic, I agree with you. I don't think would budge past like 14th, 13th. I think they've also had their glory days back in the last 4 or 5 years where they've won every cup, had that invincible season. Obviously now they're not. They're just not there. Like they're miles off it. This trip to Dubai is it's really baffled me, to be honest. Like obviously it was approved by the SFA and everyone like that, but even if it was approved, I still wouldn't have went. I don't know about you, but I just think it was such a stupid decision to go to Dubai, especially now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree.
Like obviously they've in the back they played Hibs the other night and they had 13 first team players missing because Julian had the virus. That meant 13 first team players had to isolate. Neil Lennon had to isolate. Assistant manager had to isolate, and Celtic, sorry, had to play a horrendous team. Like they had a fairly strong team. They had to play a couple of like academy players in there to fill a couple of positions that they didn't have. So yeah, I think it's a stupid decision for them to go. And regardless of that, as I say, I don't think they're anywhere near it this season, like where they should be in terms of quality. Obviously, scraped through Hearts in the Scottish Cup on penalties, which we won't go into too much detail. But I mean, you didn't watch it, but if you had told me at half time in that Scottish Cup final that the best team in Scotland for the past 3 or 4 years who have hammered us on countless occasions in that time, we were going to take them to penalties from being 2-0 down and being absolutely dominated in the first half, I would have chewed your arm off. 2-1,
But I,
2.
s- I said it before the game even started. I said that we were going to go to penalties, and I couldn't tell you who was going to win it. I thought we were going to take it, but no, obviously not.
Like again, yeah, I'd a bit your hand off if you told me at halftime that we were going to take them to penalties. Obviously, 2-1. I thought, do you know what, we're still in this. Then just watching us create chance after chance. Josh Ginnelly changed the game, came on. Obviously, we had that goal, the goal line technology, saved us and got us at 2-2. And then the famous moment on Snapchat, you text me saying, "Oh no, the thumb," and I said, "No, he wouldn't score."
I knew he'd come on and fucking score. I hate him.
Just saying Lee Griffiths score, in my head I was like, he's going to score, it's inevitable, but I didn't want to think it, so I said to you, obviously, he's not going to score, and then literally about 30 seconds later they got the corner which he scored from, and I was fuming. I didn't think there was any way back after that, but we got ourselves back in it again, and we were one penalty away from winning it. If Stephen Kingsley had scored his penalty, it would have been on Whiten to win it for us, but no, we bottle it and we lose the cup. Absolutely, honestly, horrible way to lose a cup final, but thankfully I've not been on the wrong end of penalties, so I don't know
Shut
what it
up.
actually feels like. But yeah, honestly, taking that team to penalties, 120 minutes of football, and then we lose it in that manner, it's honestly heartbreaking. Anyway, so you think that Celtic wouldn't finish above 14th or 15th, and you think you think Rangers would be relegation? Is that right?
I would like to swap them. So
Oh, no,
Rangers would
aye,
be
yeah, right,
relegation.
okay.
No, aye, because I think I'll agree with you that Celtic have had their glory days. To be honest, they've had their glory days. I can probably see it next season. They'll come back and they'll win. But at this current moment in time, I probably agree. I would think Rangers would still be low. They would still be like 14th, 15th, but Celtic would probably be not far behind them. So yeah,
It's
I
close.
think they would be
So, I mean, I
yeah.
think Jamie O'Hara's right, but I mean, again, it depends. Like, obviously, I think if you take this Rangers team now, I think this Rangers team now are kind of like, I think at this current moment, like based on this league, and you chuck them in, and everyone was at 0 points, I reckon, as the Rangers would do mid-table, possibly even higher, depending on obviously their squad and stuff. But I could see Rangers doing a lot better than Celtic. But I think he's right in saying they won't compete. But I think Rangers would be very close to getting like the Europa League or something. But I don't think they'd reach it.
But to be honest, it all depends on money. I'm not gonna lie, because like in the Premier League, if Rangers and Celtic were in the Premier League, they would get so much more money that they can put into signing more players, developing their like, training centres and all that. So I think their teams would become a lot better. Like Celtic would probably get a lot more younger players. So because like that Karamoko Dembele, they would probably train him up, and he would be their star player, no doubt. They would sign, as I said, so many more young players. So they would, if they did get the money like all these Premier League teams get at the minute, I would probably agree with you. They would probably be at table. They would, I would say they're kind of like I would say Rangers are kind of like Crystal Palace or
Mm-hmm.
Wolves. To be honest, they're
Leeds.
like the two teams I would probably compare them with. Maybe Leeds. I would say Celtic are more like Leeds. I think. Uh, but yeah, I would say they're mid-table if they got the money that all the other teams do.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, if they got the money, other teams do. Um, I can see them being higher than that, but at the current state, so if they didn't get the money and stuff, I can see them being mid-table, and I can see Celtic finishing a good like 13th, 14th. If we're basing it on now, then I can see them finishing 13th, 14th. If you'd asked me this 3, 4 years ago, I would have said Celtic would be up there, Europa League spots maybe, but now, nah, nowhere near it. Um, Make that noise, but I mean, you've got to look at it. Before they had like
No.
you had like Patrick Roberts, Scott Sinclair, Tom Rogic, Edouard, Moussa Dembele. They had an unreal team back in the day. Like Celtic were like that unbeaten season. Like if we base it on the unbeaten season, I think they would have been up there. But now, nah, I don't think they've got the strength and the quality now to do what they've done back then. So yeah, Jamie O'Hara's right, but I can see Rangers, as I say, possibly being somewhere and at some point in the season in the Europa League spots, but I can see them dropping down to mid-table. Um,
Yeah.
so I believe now we're just going to talk about a couple of transfer rumours that are going around. So the main one, well, not really the main one, but obviously Hearts signing Gary Mackay-Steven.
It's a
Um,
great signing.
a great signing indeed. I mean, I think we lacked a wide player right now, a tricky wide player. Gary Mackay-Steven, obviously Aberdeen, went to America for a wee while. When I seen him sign, I was chuffed. I think he's a class player, and I think he'll change us completely. But the biggest and perhaps probably the most talked about question on everyone's lips right now is, and I'm sure we agree on this, should Messi leave Barcelona at the end of this season? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I agree. I think Barcelona again, kind of like a bit like Celtic to be honest. Like they've had their days where they've been dominating Spanish football, and they've had their days where they've, been one of the best teams. Not Celtic, not been one of the best teams in the world, like, but they've certainly been like one of the best teams in their league. Same with Barcelona, but I think after the 8-2 Bayern Munich game, Messi's just been so unhappy. His head's not been in the right place, and I think someone needs to look into their funds and try and get him signed because I don't think he'll be at Barcelona much longer. I think he
No,
wants to be because he wants to be like known as like this player that scored the most goals for one club. Like he wants to be a one club man, which is fair enough. But I do think he does need to leave if he wants to finish his career on a high. I think he needs to leave Barcelona.
yeah, I said it before we started. Is that I think he shouldn't go to another big club. I think it'll ruin it. Even if he did, the big club would get loads of money and it'd be good business. But for Messi as a player, I think he should go back to Argentina because that's where he wanted to go. I think he wanted to go to Boca or something like that. So I think if he went to Boca and just finished his career there, I think that would have been that should be the correct move that he does. I don't think he should stay at Barca. I think Barca should just get the money for him and then invest in someone younger or someone just develop their youth. I think that's what they need to do.
I don't
What do you
think
think?
he's worth as much as what Barcelona would like price him at. Like, obviously, one of the best players of the current generation and has been for years. I don't think now, like at this current moment, if they were to stick a price tag on him, I couldn't really say, but I definitely think that there is very few teams out there that can afford him. Also, I think obviously teams in China could afford him because like
Aye.
they're just ridiculous with money. Man City, if they sold a couple of players, I think could definitely afford him. Man United
Yeah,
again at
like
the same time, they would need to sell a couple of players to be able to afford them. And if I had to pick them to go somewhere, it wouldn't be Man City because of the amount of players and depth that City have up in the front line, like we were saying earlier, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Aguero, Jesus. They've got so many players to play up there, and I just don't think going to City would be the right move for him. I don't think he'd get like the recognition he wants because City have so many players.
if he did go to City, I I think Barca would probably try and do a swap move for
That's true.
Aguero. So I think
Mm,
that's what they would do. If United were wanting them, I think United would
Rashford.
have to sell Pogba. No, they wouldn't swap, but they would have to sell Pogba to get the funds for Messi. And even if they got Messi, that's who wouldn't be playing like Martial, Rashford. You said Daniel James earlier. I think they should really look into like developing him. But like again, I don't think he should go to a big team because he's not got much left in him. I think
Oh nah, no
it's
chance.
he's got like 2 years left. I think if that.
You've got
Like
again, you've
when's the
got
next World Cup?
next World Cup will be well, 20. Well, I mean,
22.
if they're doing it, um, it'll be the Euros. The next, so the next international tournament's the Euros. So I mean, the World Cup probably won't be until. I mean, if they're doing it 4 years from the Euros, then it'll be not be until about 2025,
That's
2026.
four
But
years since. It's 4 years since the last World Cup. I can divvy.
yeah, I know. But so it's the World Cup will be 2018, then Euros 2020, then World Cup 2022. So if the Euros is this year, then I don't think the World Cup will be until like 2024 or something. I honestly don't know. But anyway,
Nah.
it's like at least 4 years away, the World Cup, I think, anyway.
Aye. If the World Cup was if they kept it in 2022, I think Messi and Ronaldo would play that, and then they would talk about retiring. I think they both want to play once more for their country in a big tournament, like a big
I
one.
think
Because
Messi more so
obviously,
because he's won bugger all with Argentina.
exactly, like I don't think he's won any of the South American cups because that's Brazil that's been winning that.
Yeah, like
And
Ronaldo
then
can say for himself that he's done it at both club and country because obviously they won the
he,
Euros. But
that was just bullshit.
I
But
know.
we won't get into that. Like, yes, he has won the Euros, and I think he wants one more shot to win the World Cup. It's like Buffon. He's wanting to win the World
Champions
Cup
League.
or the Champions League.
Champions
He's
League.
wanting to win the Champions League before he retires. That won't happen, I don't think. But he's wanting it, and that's why he's been playing for so long. So
Yeah,
I think Ronaldo and Messi have got the same mentality, but with uh, the Champions League being the World Cup,
I do agree
I
that
think that's where
I
the
do
head's at.
agree that he shouldn't go to a big team, but at the same time, you've got to think that like it's probably going to be a big team that's going to be able to afford him. Like I don't know what money's like in Argentina, but like I wouldn't say Boca Juniors unless Barcelona and say, look, we'll have unlikely, but we'll say we'll have 50 million for him. Like I doubt they're going to do that, but I think they would need to put a very cheap price tag on him for an Argentinian team to be able to afford him. But because, as I
Yeah,
said, he's been
because
one of the best players in the world for years, and he's still unbelievable at his age, I think he'll be at least like 150 million plus.
yeah, I think Barca are going to put they're going to overprice him
Oh no,
for
100%.
what he is at the minute. But like Messi wants to go to Argentina, and I don't know if he can do anything about it. I don't know if he can just say Barca, you can fuck right off. I'm going to Boca. I don't know if he can do that, but if he can, he probably should do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he gets the chance and it is doable, he should go to Argentina. But if not, I think like the MLS could be an option for him, or I'd say China if, like it does come down to money. I think it's looking like China are going to be the only like people to be able to afford him because I say they're rad with money. Like the money some of the players over there are on is just mad, and
But
it's
I just hate that people go to China
I
because
know.
like they just you don't really hear from
I
them.
was literally
Like
about to say that. Like
Fellaini, like he went to China. Is he still
Hulk,
in China? I don't know.
he
Hulk,
is.
he's done. Oscar, like Oscar dropped.
Arnautovic,
He was like Oscar was at the top of his game, I would say, and went to China. I've not heard a thing from him.
I know you can.
Iniesta went because it was the end. No, he went to Japan. Actually, I am not racist. I swear. But but like if you go to China or anywhere like that, yeah, they've got a big following over there. But I don't think you're going to get the same atmosphere or anything that you'll get over here in Europe. If you get
Nah,
me.
yeah, like I was just about to say what you said. Like players that have went to China, you can just tell when players go to China and the decision they make. If they decide to go to China, they're 100% in football for the money, not for like because they want to play for like the club. Like Arnautovic obviously was doing alright at West Ham. He was always getting played. Got an offer for China because it was money. He went. Same with Oscar.
Yeah.
Like I think he went to China for the money. Like not that I'm saying China's a shit league and stuff, but you can just tell that their players are getting offered large sums. Like I mean, Lavezzi, like he was like on 550,000 plus at one point a week, I think. So he probably only went there for the money. So I think, as I say, if it comes to it, he probably might go to China or the MLS. But I do agree he should go back to Argentina to finish his career, given that's what he's always wanted to do.
Yeah, a lot of players are kind of wanting to go to the MLS now. I think it's because Beckham's team,
I was going to
the
say, yeah, you've got Beckham's team
Miami,
now, and they're racking up a few decent players. They've got
because I
Matuidi.
think they were wanting Messi to go there, and I think it was either like Suarez or Neymar or something
Oh,
like that.
imagine Messi and Suarez going to that team. Just give them the league
But
there and
that's the thing.
then.
If they did, do American teams like qualify for Champions League? I've never seen them in them. I
I
know
don't think so.
they're not the
I don't
best, but
actually know. I wouldn't think so.
like if they do, then I think they could take Miami to win their league and then maybe go for the Champions League. Like the MLS isn't a bad league because like, it has and had a few good players. Like Wayne Rooney went there and done bits. Ibra went to LA. He done bits there as well, and Carlos Vela. Vela's one of the big ones, I think, in my head.
Yeah, he's doing
He's went to
unreal.
MLS and he's tore it up, really. Now I've not really heard much from him. Like, what was it, like last year or 2 years ago? I think he was doing well.
Don't think he plays for a very
But
good. Is it LAFC or somebody plays for like?
LA, yes, LA. I think there's LAFC and LA Galaxy. I think
Yeah.
Zlatan plays for Galaxy.
Now,
Oh, he used to.
I was going to say he doesn't play for them now. He's at AC Milan.
Oh. No, before AC Milan. I'm not that
Yeah,
stupid.
he was at Galaxy, and he was unreal. Like anywhere
Yeah.
Ibra's went, he's just scored goals. He's a born goal scorer.
Yeah.
Anyway, away from
I think he won
Ibra,
with Celtic.
away from Ibra, away from anyone else. Messi, we both agree should leave Barcelona, and Paul thinks he should go to China. Sorry, Paul thinks he should go to Argentina. But
Oh,
I think in terms of, I think
exactly.
money is going to be the reason he doesn't leave, because I think Barcelona are going to put a price tag on him that no one can afford, and they're going to make him stay there for the rest of his career. But I think if I was to make a decision, I think he should leave.
Yeah.
So that concludes today's podcast. We hope you have enjoyed it. Obviously, let us know what you think of our predictions down below. A couple of very debatable decisions, one of which being I think Man United will win the league, so let me know what you think about that down below. Obviously, we're trying to get Scottish football into it as much as possible as well. Not that I watch Scottish football as much as I'd like to, but I still kind of keep an eye on it and things. Not now that Hearts are not in the Premiership, but that's irrelevant. Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, obviously share it around, give it a like and subscribe. Hoping to try and get the same amount of views as what the last one did. So again, share it around. That would be great. Anything?
Also follow our Instagram and our Twitter page as well. We've now got one of them, so just keep on top of when we post these. We'll always put out a post saying that we've posted them. So just
Yep.
keep on top of them.
Stories
And
will always go up pre-record just so people know when it's getting filmed. This one's being filmed on Thursday, so that's how early we're filming them now, just so we can cover our backs in case anything goes wrong at the weekend. Yeah, as Paul said, I'll leave a link to the Twitter and the Instagram in the description. Anything else you'd like to say before we leave, Paul?
just saying thank you very much for listening to the first one and for it to get so many views. It's incredible. So thank you very much. Hopefully this one gets the same. I think you've already said that, but yeah, thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
Future episodes.
Yeah, we're gonna be sticking this out as much as possible. I'm sure Paul can agree that, but combined all my cracks at YouTube, I think if you add up all the total views that all my videos have had over the years, it doesn't even amount to 670 or whatever it is. So I've already reached my most amount of views on a video, and Paul is the same as well. So again, thank you so much. With such little subscribers and things as well, it's absolutely mad that we've hit that much. So yeah, share it about, like, subscribe obviously as well, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.
Bye.